Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, my brother.
Yeah, the usual. No trouble. Just the usual the two snap that where I have to click on it, then I have to go back to the text and then click on it again.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
why.
hopefully Anchor act right today, because I swear it been giving me hell. And speaking of that, hello subscribers, and welcome to the Premium Smoke Room, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Smoke. You know what it is, people. If you have came on here, sponsored by LSWorld.com, Racism Magazine. .com and excitebunny.com, and eventually we'll get some wrestling sponsors someday or what have you. Oh man, we got a lot to discuss, man.
Oh yeah, no the what do you call it? The state of wrestling is not good, and in all honestly, if you're one of the smaller companies like Noah or Impact or even Progress or something like now is a definite. That would be the golden opportunity to make a cannonball run to not so much to lead, but to really maybe get a good TV deal or get snag a good spot.
It's crazy because even Jungle Boy is injured. I was like, damn, what the fuck? Is is it the move sets? Because when people sit here and they dog old school wrestling, right? They didn't stay injured like that, nor did they get injured often. Now they might have been hurt, but not injured. You
Well,
feel
I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
it's the same thing. Like to a lesser example, I had a really vicious earache for about 4.5 days, and it put me down. I basically laid down and kind of was on a very irregular sleep schedule. And of course, when I really don't get sick, but when I maybe I'm fighting something off or whatever, I don't know. Instinctively, when I'm normal, I kind of crave healthier foods. When I'm not feeling well, I just want every piece of garbage there is. So 4.5 days, five of not eating really well and just laying down and all this other stuff. And of course, me being the genius that I am, the first day I was feeling better. Why not do 70 minutes of cardio and a bunch of new exercises that I've never done before because I'm trying to get into really, really, really good shape for Exotica. So it was it kind of really kicked the shit out of me for a day or two. Uh, when you're wrestling every single day, your body gets used to it. When you're only wrestling once a week, or
Mm-hmm.
even 2 or 3 days a week, if you're doing that, it does leave a little certain. Well, your body does not have this. Plus, again, yes, it also is the move set because some of these things that they do, they're doing like moves like 7 to 10, 12, 15 moves in one match that it's like, that could have been a one killer high spot or that could have been like
Mm-hmm.
one massive finisher. And, and I think part of it is, well, they're getting guaranteed contracts. So if you got a $400,000 guarantee and you're
You
out
better
for,
go hard.
and if you, well, yeah, but also if you're out for the most of the year, yeah, you're going to make less money because you're not actively in the ring. But a lot of companies now in a lot of states, if you get hurt in the ring, they cover it. But also, you're still making 400. That's a hell of a downside. I wish I had a
Yeah.
downside like that. So I think it is the move set. I think it's some of a lot of shit they do for stuff that's like, this is not that big of a match. Why are you doing that? Or and also they're moving so fast
Mm-hmm.
that they are being a little reckless, or they're trying to do stuff where it's like, man, you're doing this live in one take. That's a
Mm-hmm.
hell of a. I mean, like Jim Cornette does have a very good point, and I do imply it to my scenes. It's like what do you call it? A degree of 5, or
Mm-hmm.
sorry, a difficulty of 5, an execution of 10. So I don't do ridiculous. If I'm running the show, or I have any major say in the scene, I don't do those stupid, ridiculous porn scenes positions
Mm-hmm.
in my scenes because it's like, yeah, uh, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Cause I'm not gonna pick a girl up and hold the, you know what I'm saying? Because it's one, because I don't want to throw my fucking back out. It don't take much to throw your back out, especially at my age. And two, the other part of it is it's all that is not needed. Less is more.
Yes.
In a lot of cases, man.
And I'll be honest with you, when I watch a porn scene, there's certain positions that are my go-to positions, and I would rather see a really good doggy style position or a really good missionary position, and with the right camera angle, and you're getting the right reaction out of the female talent. That to me is hotter. Like anal scenes, anal scenes that are like the dudes just going to town and like wailing, don't really do it for me because it's just kind of happening. Whereas I'm hoping to shoot some anal scenes in Miami, and my thing, you go slow for most of the, for most of the scene, you're getting more of a reaction and more facial, and also stay on the girl's face, or keep her face in the shot because you get more of a reaction if you're going slow. There's more sensuality. Like, if a girl, there's tricks of the trade, but if a girl does a lot of anal and she's working, and she's done a lot of prep, there's a lot of, and so on and so forth. And she's able to take it, but for the most part, it's like, it's just kind of happening. And even if they're enjoying it, like, it's not coming across on camera. So I would much rather see a more slow deal. And so, yeah, like less, like I said, MJF matches are way better because it makes you feel. And that's also why, and I was going to touch on this later, like the reason why psychology has become more important than ever. And really needs to make a massive comeback. Like I said, if you do 20 high spots, knock it down to 10 to 7, and then add some psychology, and you're going to get injured less. And also you're probably going to get more of a reaction.
Yeah, because I mean, it's speaking of MJF. I mean, that promo is holding more true, ain't it?
Yeah.
Because okay, then between AEW and WWE, you have a lot of injuries that's been popping up. Because even to when I heard about Rhea Ripley, I said, "Well, damn."
Oh, she got injured too?
Yeah, that's why she's not in the match with her, and that's why Carmella is wrestling Bianca.
Well, WWE especially, WWE style, their rings, whatever. WWE is something about, because there's the WWE style, and I think it's very easy to get injured working the WWE style because Kenta worked in Japan, okay, where guys get so banged up that their necks literally, like, it's a very sad thing, but Misawa basically was decapitated in the ring from years of getting dropped on his head. He goes to WWE for 10 minutes, and then he's out the majority of the time he's there with this shoulder injury. It happened, same thing with Sami Zayn. Like, these guys, back when he was a wrestler, these guys, the WWE style, and when you add that injury-prone type of style, and on top of the fact that you have really piss poor creative, and you're deliberately not creating stars, now you have this perfect storm of all the people anybody vaguely gives a fuck about that have been on your TV are now injured. So what are you doing? And it's also more telling than the injuries is the lack of creative and the holes in everybody's booking, because one of the things about the old school in any promotion back, even as far up as the 90s, when people got injured, there was somebody there to jump in, and it was things kept moving. It wouldn't.
But shoot, but I mean, even the people that they can jump in, they getting hurt. It's like, I mean, the injury bug is, think about it. All right, Punk, Bryan Danielson, he's hurt. You feel me? You got Jungle Boy who is hurt that you could probably thrown in at some point. Who else is hurt? A whole bunch of motherfuckers is hurt. AEW. WWE didn't had their injury bugs. Like I said, when it comes to the smaller promotions, you don't hear it. I haven't heard of anyone being out a lot, because like MLW, these guys, shit, they're there every week. And I don't hear nothing about injuries, but so much on their end. Maybe because it may not be reported as much, or people may not care as much because of the level that they are. But or even with Impact, you don't hear about injuries as much.
Well, with the WWE, I believe. Well, one, I think it is this high risk style that everyone's doing in these moves where it's constantly, okay, we got a topic, we got a topic, we got a topic, we got to go, 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 rush, rush, rush. And I'm sorry, you can be the great. You can take Dean Malenko. If I tell Dean Malenko to go in there and speed it up, Dean Malenko is gonna hurt people because he's like, okay, move twice as fast as you normally do. It just leaves room for error. Also, like in football, it's noticeable. Like for example, the Georgia Bulldogs, when we still had Mark Rich as our head coach, that fucking prick. We were a good team, and we were always on the cusp of being great. But with Mark Rich, really just turned into an absolute terrible coach, and whatever he was doing with the trainers and in the gym and everything, like we had Murray, we had Chubb, we had Gurley, we had some Crabtree, we had some amazing fucking players that we never really got the full use out of in Georgia because they were always getting injured, and it was like constant. And then Mark got fired because he fucking sucks. And then we got Kirby Smart, and all of a sudden, that doesn't injuries still happen, but not like they used to. And when guys come back, they're back for a minute. And here we are. We're your defending national champions. If you're seeing people, if your style and people are constantly getting injured, then it's somebody. Like you need to fire somebody and hire a new trainer, hire a new strengthening coach, whatever drills you're running. You got to because Gurley and Chubb went on into the NFL, and they had so far been very successful careers. And as far as I can tell, nowhere near injury prone as they were when they were playing for the fucking Bulldogs. And in college, that's when you're supposed to be your youngest and most in shape because you're not as banged up. And we could not keep anybody healthy. And then they would, of course, get drafted. And then Mark, again, it was just the same thing. Like he didn't have anybody on deck. So he was like our Vince McMahon. So, yeah, it's that. I think the WWE style. And again, this attitude of we're not going to create stars and, so on. And this constant harping on bringing back guys from the Attitude Era has now really come home to roost. But it's an industry thing. The AEW, like this Forbidden Door pay-per-view, I honestly have no interest in watching it. If it was presented to me for free, maybe I would, but I would definitely be like reading while the pay-per-view's on, or I'd be working on a project because Tony Khan, like, wow, the holes in your booking have really come out. It is just, and it also backs up the stuff we have been saying, like the lack of feuds, the lack that you're keeping guys hot or elevated, and so on. Like, you have.
But see, to me, the pay-per-view, in my opinion, it looks like a good pay-per-view. The only thing, well, there's only one match that I'm just scratching my head on, but that's in the words of Jim Cornette, my dog pockets. Versus Bill Ospreay, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a good match. But I don't know if I would have had him go against Ospreay, but it is what it is. They had to put Orange Cassidy on there.
No, they didn't have to. No, actually, I'm going to disagree with you on that. No, they didn't, because he really is the mascot of AEW. This fucking guy hasn't done anything of note in forever. He's been injured, but also when he is active, it's the same fucking shtick. And he's at ringside most of the time. Occasionally he'll have a match. The motherfucker's not even technically wearing real jeans anymore. Okay. And he just kind of does the same bullshit. And then you're not, and that's the thing, the gimmick does not allow for him to go on and become a main eventer. And now you have, plus the people you have him associated with, best friends and all these other stupid.
See, what's interesting is that, like I said, he's going against Will.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. Like Tony, I don't know it had to be Tony's idea, and shame on
Some tell me it wasn't Tony. Some tell it was New Japan. I just have that feeling that it was New Japan.
Well, maybe I don't. Well, if it's New Japan, then shame on you, because if that's a joke, I forgot to laugh
because
because
it's kind of like when I look at everybody that might have been that you could have put in that spot, they kind of stuck in another type feud. So he's the odd man out. That's why I think New Japan was like probably, or they both came to agreement. Let's just use him. I mean, just feed him to Will Ospreay. He can probably give Ospreay the type match and yeah. But for aesthetics and for the size of what the Forbidden Door posed to me as far as a pay-per-view, no, I wouldn't have thought to have him. You had Mero. I mean, I wouldn't even. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like,
well, it's literally the most uninteresting card. What you're doing with the world title. I really don't care who wins. You have literally nothing but multi-person matches, which is the epitome of lazy booking. You can't. I'm sorry, but you can't have like an epic. You can have an epic spot show of all kinds of moves.
But like I said, that's why I hate. Okay, this is what it is. This is what I liked about the NWA. When they had, let's say, a collabo, right? Card. The card, how can I put this? You can tell there's egos there. Even though they might do this again, it's the reason why they have the multi-man matches is because, for example, New Japan didn't have to have, okay, New Japan, if you wanted the Young Bucks, you could just have the Young Bucks just have a match. You feel me? Against, let's say, your tag champions. If you wanted to have, okay, FTR on the roster, okay, with the Ring of Honor titles, you could have just had them go against your junior heavyweight tag champions or something, or one of your other established tag champions. Shit, you could have had Gorillas of Destiny. You feel what I'm coming from?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like, yeah, we're gonna have these matches, but I don't know. I want to make sure that, you know, our people look good, they go over, but at the same token, not giving the best matches. Now, I get that we probably wouldn't have had Tanahashi versus let's say CM Punk. We might, or it would have been Tanahashi versus maybe
Kenta?
Moxley. You know, period. But yeah, we would have had Okada go for the AEW title against CM Punk. We would have had that. CM Punk didn't get hurt. We would have had your man Zack Sabre, because we was excited about that shit. You know.
Here's the thing. Just the lack of effort that they're just, like I said, I'm sorry, but I don't give a flying fuck about multi-person matches, because you can't have an epic multi-person match. If you would have had Miro against a New Japan wrestler for the title, a one-on-one with some build-up, I'm with it. If you, the Young Bucks left New Japan on bad terms, and they went from kissing their ass to doing some shit talking. So you could have brought in a tag team to go against the Young Bucks to kind of, you know, revitalize, maybe, you know, play on that little bit of bad blood. You have FTR wrestling the IWGP Tag Team Champions, but then now you have Roppongi Vice involved for whatever reason.
All because Roppongi Vice is known in the States,
but not even that.
And they're the American. That's the only why they even put them in there. Because okay, logically speaking, they haven't tagged a lot.
But they haven't tagged in years, and they haven't been presented as an official, because apparently Chuck Taylor just disappeared. And, you know, and again, the way what's his name has been presented. Trent has been presented as a grumpy, pouting, fucking, you know, bobble-headed jerk off, like walking around with a chip on his shoulder, but he has it. But everybody, that's one chip because everybody has been knocking it off his fucking shoulder because the guy doesn't win. And now all of a sudden, it's a three-way where one tag team has nothing to offer. So it's like, why? So I have a feeling the only reason why they're there is
because both belts is on the line. So that
I
means
think they're going to take the pinfall. That's why they're there. They're going to take the pinfall.
Which would make sense. Actually, I already knew about to happen. Because let's see what's coming up. What's the big event in Japan? Because the airlines is opening up and shit like that. I think FTR gonna take them belts. If the New Japan belts are on the line, I see them taking it.
I mean, that has to be the only outcome because you can't. I mean, it's just that's the thing. These matches, I honestly, and I'm angry by the whole thing because I had some high hopes, and it's like I'm not happy the way you have presented this, the way you have built it, and the matches that you thought up. Look, here's the deal. Again, it sucks when you're not involved in something. I have producers that I'm tight with, and they do use me. But when and again, it's a thing of being an artist or somebody creative. It kind of hurts my feelings in a way or bugs me. It's like, oh, well, why are they using him? Or why are they promoting him more than they're promoting me? And they don't promote my scenes as much as his scenes, but I know for a fact my scenes sell more. And it's like, look, that's just adult life. Sometimes, look, guys, you're not getting on the fucking pay-per-view. You're trying to sell something. You need the big stars. And the fact that your big stars got hurt and you don't have backups, that is the creative's fault. And they're just lazy with the creative. WWE is not even trying. But AEW is just being lazy. And now it's becoming like right an inch from your face. Because Orange Cassidy in a fucking title match with one of the hottest wrestlers in the world finally coming to the U.S. Are you fucking kidding me? A jerk off in sweatpants. Okay, that's who this guy gets. He better mop the floor with him and beat him in under 5 minutes because I don't know what Ospreay, I don't know the guy. I don't know what his thinking is, but I'm not going to lie. I would be fucking pissed. I would be insulted. I'd be back on a plane to Japan. The tag and the four-way this and the four-way for the IWGP. It's like, I don't know. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. And it's lazy booking.
And that kind of blew my fucking mind that it was a four-way.
Because everybody has to be included. Everybody has to be involved. And it's like, no, you have just matches that actually mean something. A bunch of like train wreck, and with a guy standing around, like, literally waiting, like standing there outside the ring, waiting for a guy to climb up. And it's like, the only thing missing is when they jump off, one wrestler turns to the other one and audibly on camera goes, "It's a living," and then like, boom, the bump. And, it's just fucking bad. And it's angering and frustrating because it's like, what would have been a great match? Miro versus Ospreay. You could have, if you're gonna do Okada and what's his face again, the Switchblade, then hey, you did it before. I think it's a little redundant, but that match could stand on its own. The tag team match, FTR versus, it worked with the Steiners and Hase and I forget his other partner for the, that worked, just team versus team. You could have had, let's see what else we got. You could have had Kenta come in for something. You could have had, trying to think of all the fucking, there's so many guys on this fucking card, and it's like,
yeah, I mean, it's, but see, I'm gonna tell you what's funny. All right, let me tell you what this card looks like. Now, I want people to really sit down and think about this, because if you go and this for anybody that really watch New Japan, it's a New Japan type card. Now, let me explain to you why I say that. Because if you watch a New Japan thing, the first thing you're going to see is a bunch of tag matches, 6-man, 8-man, period. They do some 3-ways or what have you, but it's kind of like I said, it's the way that they just set up the card. It just feel like more. It don't feel like an AEW card. It feels more like New Japan has more say so on how these matches went down and the matchups for them. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Because one, I guess it took forever for Okada to get his ass over to America. So, because I didn't think Okada was gonna be a part of the damn thing. And what's crazy about it is you have Okada in a 4-way.
Yeah.
Adam Cole and Adam Page, and it's like
I will be very surprised if he does not win, and if he doesn't win, it's going to be Jay White.
Oh no! Okada getting the belt back.
Oh wait, who's the fourth guy? It's what? Oh no, Adam Page. Oh yeah, forget it. It's Patty. It's the Right Stone Cowboy.
Because the question is it elimination? If it's not no, okay. If it's elimination, Okada taking it. If it's not elimination, it's gonna be Jay White because he's gonna. And see, probably. Nah, I'm gonna tell you who he's gonna get the pin on.
I haven't seen a multi-person match that was an elimination match, and I couldn't tell you how long.
Yeah, damn, it has been a long time since they had elimination.
Because again, it's just lazy. Because here's the deal, you become better by challenging yourself. Like I said, I have certain desires, and I'm investing in this coming Miami Exotica. I'm having stickers made. I'm having a business card. I already have business cards made. I'm actually thinking about having a shirt made. I'm pushing myself because I want certain things. If you're Arn Anderson laid on his back more from like 85 to like 95 than a hooker having a half price sale during Fleet Week, and he never lost 1 ounce of heat. He never got old to watch on TV. The guy knew how to make somebody look great, lose, then come back on TV and like it never happened. And that is a skill which no wrestler is going to ever develop if you do not allow them. It's been beaten to the point where it's become ridiculously predictable. Oh, but you have a multi-person thing with the thing. The champ is not going to get picked. And now it's gotten so just fucking ad nauseum. There's never even the argument. When they started to do this kind of bullshit, it was the thing of, well, I wasn't pinned. Now it's just like, well, meh. And it's just, again, you're asking me for $50 fucking dollars. I don't give a rat's ass if by October I'm making an average of like $5,000 a month from my porn. Okay, I'm clearing $5,000 a month between companies and my own thing. If you're gonna come to me, go $50. I'd be like, you better fucking you need to give me something for that fucking $50. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this card, just on the face of it, I wouldn't pay $10 for it. And like I said, I would be very hard pressed to watch it for free.
I ain't gonna front. I would watch it because I think it's actually a good card. To me, it's a good card. It's just the build to it and what could have been. You get what I'm coming from? Because what could have been, this could have been the biggest fucking wrestling extravaganza in the past 10 years.
And the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, the Japan, I got that G1 thing of Madison Square Garden. I'm not gonna lie, that pay-per-view fell a little flat to me. It fell a little, they, again, multi-person matches, people won that I honestly felt should have won. They tried to do some stupid angle with Enzo and it's just, it's kind of eh.
Well, I was hearing why, because it's not New Japan versus AEW, it's New Japan with AEW. You get what I'm saying? And you're not getting but so many dream matches per se.
But here's the thing. There was a build-up. For the. Here's the other thing. Okay, dream match. That's like saying I'm going to get a camera and a blonde chick with big tits. Therefore, my porn's going to sell. No, You give me FTR, and you give me, the Briscoes. They did their own slow build, and the people wanted to see it, and they gave them a little taste here and there, and they did
But
the
see,
slow build.
that was the Brit. But see, but see, here's the thing. I've been watching Briscoes for years. I know everybody. They build everything. They build it on their fucking own. It's even when it came to like Ring of Honor, just let them do whatever. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's the point I remember when Nick Aldis called out Jay Briscoe on I forgot what TV show it was. He was on whatever rap show was on. And he came back and did a promo and said, "Yo, ring the phone. The phone right here." I love Jay Briscoe. But, and of course, FTR, they are internet savvy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about what they used to do back and forth with the Young Bucks. So, because think about the anticipation, they in WWE. They ain't even left WWE yet. And people was ready to see them and the Young Bucks. So think about anticipation when they finally had that match. So the thing of it is you're talking about dealing, and plus these are two American talents. You're talking about Japanese motherfuckers. It's kind of like the way that they work and they think. The only guys that will be doing like any promos that could be fired like that would be the English speaking ones, such as Jay White or what have you. Because do you really think Okada could actually speak good enough English to hype up a match between him and CM Punk? No, CM Punk will have to carry the weight, just like Moxley had to carry the weight with Ta-Nehisi. Ta-Nehisi don't speak no damn English. He say a few words.
But here's the thing, this kind of thing doesn't happen overnight. So they had time, and honestly, if this was going to be on board, I would immediately, once it was going in the direction of like, okay, this is going to happen, fine, I would start to slowly set things rolling on TV. And honestly, I would, if you needed to do promos, I would talk to the New Japan. Like, do you have anybody that could like pull off a manager job? Do you have anybody Gato?
Man, shoot, they could have had subtext, whatever they call them things. Sometimes, yeah.
Well, I mean, Gato could do English, or you can get like there's you could have set things in motion that like the Japanese guys come in and they have a mouthpiece, but you can get around that if you. But again, it comes down to you have to think about it and you have to work on. I had an idea, like I pitched an idea to a talent, and I was like, oh, this is like an idea for a really cool photo shoot for you, and the idea is basically you. But then I started thinking on it, and then I'm like, well, she liked the idea, but the odds of her using it. And then I started expanding on the idea and writing the idea, and then the idea, and it takes time to do anything creative. And unless you have a lot of moving parts that are presented properly, you can't just go, oh, okay, so now he's going to challenge for the title, and she's going to be involved, and like. Okay, well, no, because you haven't made the extra effort to, like I literally go, why the fuck is this happening? Like the same thing with Orange Cassidy. If everybody in AEW and everybody in Japan, you pick this half a fucking jerk off, and I mean, and here's the funny thing: I've noticed in the crowd, his bullshit ain't popping like it once was.
Oh no, but like I said, I mean, with me, even with the Orange Cassidy thing, period. I'm actually a fan of Orange Cassidy. Like I said, I just would never put him in the world title picture. I can see him as a mid-card belt champion for a little bit, maybe even a transition mid-card. But like I said, I mean, as far as match, technically, it's going to be a good match because there's no fucking way in hell that Ospreay gonna have a bad match with this dude, because even to the point that we already know that he probably gonna Orange Cassidy probably gonna take a nice little beating. I don't think it's gonna be like a back and forth, or it could be a good. I mean, let's just be real. He's not a bad wrestler. He just has a bad gimmick.
Well, it's not even that. It's the gimmick has run its course. Like again, I'm not going to deny the guy. Look, if I saw what he was making doing this, I'm not above saying, give me a Canadian tuxedo and a pair of aviators, and I would do the same exact fucking thing. But he's been beaten to death. And as far as him being a good wrestler, sure. Well, here's the thing: competent, yes. There's there's something special about FTR individually and as a tag team. There's something special about Jeff Cobb. There's something special about Will Ospreay. Obviously, something special about Bryan Danielson. Orange Julius, his moveset, there's nothing unique. It's the same shit everybody else is doing. There's nothing epic. There's nothing that stands out. It's like, okay, like I said, if I was involved in some kind of like WWE type program where I'm going to be like some kind of half-ass celebrity, I'm going to come in for a second and I'm going to have like a match, quote unquote, I would trust him to be like, all right, I trust you to pick me up and drop me and do all this other shit because you're competent. But the gimmick is underwhelming, but also,
but his moveset is based to the gimmick. It's kind of like that of now. If there's someone that give me that I cannot stand it to the level of his is Wendy Choo. You get what I'm saying? Now but even her moveset is built to the gimmick that she's pushing. You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, for example, I would never expect Stone Cold Steve Austin to ever do a fucking Hurricanrana because that's not Stone Cold Steve Austin move. You feel me? Even as great as John Cena was, he had a certain moveset that they wanted from his ass. And I'm seeing John Cena when he was in OVW have some great wrestling matches. Not sports entertainment, wrestling matches. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know how Jim Cornette works down there at OVW. I used to remember watching some of the old OVW stuff. So to me, his moveset is built to who he's supposed to be portraying.
Yeah, but it's not impressive. I mean, again, I just like, look, if you want to keep him around, put him on the card, whatever. But if you're gonna put him in a match, if you're gonna, I don't know. Like again, if it for me, it'd be like a producer here. Do you know who Diamond Trio is?
Yeah, I know who Diamond Trio is.
Okay, yeah. I like Diamond Trio. I've met him a few times. We talk on the internet and everything. I've never worked with him or for him or whatever, but he's a local guy here in Atlanta. If he would have called and said, "Hey, you're a great talent. I want to use you," which he has said to me in the past, but I've never worked with him yet. And he calls me up one day. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing. Come over. I got this thing. We're gonna do this thing. I think you're a great talent. We're gonna use." I'm like, "All right," and I show up. And I'm there, and I do all the stuff that I'm supposed to do, and I bring all my shit. And then he sits down with me and goes, "Okay, here's the deal. This guy's gonna be banging your wife. You're gonna walk in. You're gonna be upset, but then you're gonna kind of let it happen. And then, like at some point, she'll give you like a blowjob during the scene." I would just look at him in dead silence, and because I'm waiting for the punchline, and I'd be like, "Motherfucker." I spent 30 minutes driving through Atlanta of all fucking places. I would rather drive through Beirut with a Jewish star on my car door than drive to Atlanta. And you mean to tell me you want to do a glorified fucking cuck scene and you waited to now to tell me? I would be like, dude, I would literally, if I had the cash on me, I would pull out $50. I would put it on the table and go, do me a favor. I'm paying you for this service. Don't ever call me ever again. And when that runs out, then call me and I'll give you another 50 because you just wasted my fucking time. I would turn around and I'd walk out and I would be genuinely insulted because it's, and I'm a hard man to insult, but because like I'm a talent. I worked hard to get better every scene and this, that, and the other thing. I invest in myself, and you want me to basically just play some like cuck jerk off husband that sits in the chair and gets while the guy that you really, I'd be like, really, are you fucking kidding me? I would be beyond absolutely pissed, and I would be like, no, fucking no. I don't know what well,
but see, the thing of it is that the gimmick, it like put it this way. All right, we wouldn't have gave a fuck about Orange Cassidy until he became Orange Cassidy because he was Firehand. No one knew his face. No one knew of him but so much. Because Jakar was known underground wise, but not mainstream. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, to me, with Orange Cassidy, he is the least egregious when it comes to gimmicks.
Well,
When
look,
it comes to
you can't deny
AEW.
the success, and it worked, and it's made its money and everything. But
Yeah.
again, it's like you wearing now the gimmick is really it was a gimmick with a short shelf life, and he's and again, not to be punny, but he is squeezed as much as he. And again, it's not even wearing.
But I'm gonna
real,
ask you this though. Is he one of them dudes that don't even need the belt?
Well, I wouldn't put a belt on him. I wouldn't give him my. I wouldn't give him my fucking
Roddy
Kmart.
Piper. I mean, I'm not trying to compare to Roddy Piper, but Roddy Piper never became a world champion.
I would never give him.
He was a little crazy.
Well, it's his fault, kind of, that he wouldn't. That he wouldn't, because he would have been especially in the NWA or like even the WWE for a very unique. I think that feud would have really been legendary had Piper had a little bit of a run, but Piper was very difficult to work with, and it worked to a degree because he made a lot of money, and he broke the mold for a WWE heel, but it cost him the belt, and also, look, the thing made him money. I wouldn't put a belt on him. You want to keep him around, you want to put him on TV, you want to put him on a pay-per-view, that's fine, but he's not don't have him beat a guy you just acquired from the WWE on live TV and then say it doesn't count because it was lights out. Don't put him. You literally got this amazing.
But wait a second. Didn't Kenny Omega say the same thing? You see, because I mean, I don't mind that because at the end of the day, it's kind of like, but it like put it this way: if you're going to say that, then if you're going to challenge for the world title the next day, you need to give me a reason to sit here and say, okay, I see why he challenged for the title. I have no issue if a guy, after he loses a lights out match, which is technically by their rules is not counted. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you come back and you put him in a number one contenders match, see, if they came back now, maybe because Orange Cassidy got hurt, I don't know. Because some tell me that's probably why. But I hope that was why. Because I kind of noticed that he don't like doing rematches for so much, especially when it comes to like certain feuds or title matches, but I digress. But to me, if he had brought them back for a number one contenders match and Cole went over, now I can deal with that statement. You feel what I'm saying? Period. Because at the end of the day, ultimately, Kenny Omega did lose that lights out match, but he came back and ended up beating your man for the belt when he got the belt.
Well, if you're not going to, again, you're not going to take the extra effort to have it be logic. And also, the gimmick also has become stale to the point where, again, he's wearing fucking sweatpants. And obviously he's been injured, so you can't, and especially if it's a shoulder or something with your back, he's still in shape, but he doesn't look as good as he did a few months ago. So I'm not holding that against him because, the fact that he hasn't gained more weight, I give him credit for being able to stay that lean, but the gimmick has not evolved. It's actually, if anything, it's devolved.
I don't think the gimmick was ever going to evolve.
But then you're forever. Then you know what? Then you're either comedy match or your opening match because you got to be able to do a promo. You get and also the gimmick itself. I'm sorry, but again, to me, if I was a wrestler, I would be pissed. You're going to come up and do the shin kick and do this whole stupid thing with the pockets and everything else. You make the other guy look like a horse's ass because there is no reasonable way, even if you're staging it, that no big ass fucking ass kicker man would stand there and let that guy do that. I swear to Christ, somebody shin kick me like that, dude, I'm gonna whack you dead on your ear and try to pop your eardrum. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's just the dumbest goddamn thing.
And see, and then too, also, what I really hate was that we weren't going to get an LIJ reunion. Oh God, that would have been just love. All because CML they deal with New Japan, not AAA. So, so that was interesting. But which I didn't even know how the hell. Well, I guess because Helio does work with AAA. He probably has a little contract with them also, in conjunction with AEW. Because I can understand why that would affect him. Because I thought he was signed to AEW and he every now and then goes to AAA. So I'm confused.
And that's the other thing too. Is like with the fact that they had to take several wrestlers off the card or something like that because of like all of that. Again, this is why when people like, oh, I'm not impressed by business people because the system is structured in a way that if you can get past a certain point, the system just protects you. Mm-hmm. And then as you get bigger, you acquire staff, and then you can just lay the blame off of. You're entering into a partnership with New Japan, which everybody has been wanting since you. I
mean, New Japan is that girl that all the dudes just be like, man, I want to fuck, man. I've been wanting to fuck her forever.
Yeah, so now it's finally happening, but also New Japan has a big thing with CML. They had it for years, and also you now, before you got into Japan, you have a working deal with AAA. Now AAA has been doing its thing with AEW, but these two companies, CMML and AAA, cannot stand each other.
It is blood feud.
You've done no. And here's the other thing too. I don't really understand what AAA gets out of its partnership with AEW because Omega never really presented the title on even the
oh no, I'm gonna tell you because like I said, I keep it with AAA also. It was them getting Omega. See, the thing of it is AAA has figured out that we need more so than Japan does. They really use the foreign wrestlers. Like Johnny Impact will always have a home. Talia Valkyrie, think about how many times she didn't held the Reina's title. She's a 4-time Reina champ, and she is no way Spanish. Well, she might be Hispanic, but Canadian wise, I don't know. I don't know necessarily her ethnicity. I never met her. I've never had an opportunity to conversate with the sexy young lady. But look how many times she held that belt down there. Johnny Impact at one point, John Morrison at one point held all the titles. Like he did a straight up Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle had all the belts in the promotion, all the single belts. So it's kind of like they had the same reason why at one point I think what the Young Bucks had the tag titles. They want the top American talent to come down there.
I mean, and the thing is, though, my point was like, look, you're supposed to be, and that's the thing. The executives, we're in a recession. Everything is inflation, and everything's really tight. And but the one thing that never gets affected is executives. Their pay never goes down. Their bonuses are always guaranteed. And honestly, if they're ever threatened, they literally go into attack mode. And it's like, look, I don't give a fuck if you're running a company. If you're running TNT, the network, and TNT is just clocking along, winning awards, making money, getting ad revenue, and it's killing it, and you're the head guy leading the ship, and it's just like TNT has never been better, and your salary is fucking ridiculous, not even counting your bonus and all the other shit they just give you. To me, it's applicable. Okay, but here's the thing. If you can't do the job, if you're incompetent, why the fuck are we paying you this? You knew that this stuff was going to happen. You did not at all begin to maybe start talking to AAA or, CML, like try to mend some kind of fence and be like, look, guys, this is a U.S. thing, and here's the deal. I make this promise. I will never have a AAA wrestler wrestle a CMML wrestler, so that way you don't have to worry about a win or loss. You don't have to worry, and if I use your talent, I'll make them look good. There's ways to kind of cajole and do business and give everybody what they want.
But see, only if CML, because what people gotta understand, so let's understand is that It's kind of like with for some people down in Puerto Rico when IAW and what's the other goddamn wrestling promotion?
WWC.
Yeah, WWC, the World Wrestling Council. It was a hated rivalry. They would not fuck with each other in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You feel me? And it's kind of like, unlike with England, like when I look at over there in England, like them motherfuckers jump and switch wrestlers like it ain't shit. You feel me? And they don't stop each other from wrestling other promotions or what have you. They even bring the belt with them sometimes.
But
go ahead.
No, but here's the thing. It's like, okay, these guys were expected to be on the card and they had to be pulled. It's like, dude, everybody knows there's this heated thing between AAA. AAA was formed on basically a mass raid that of CML talent, and it actually put UWA out of business. So it was a big fucking deal. And you're negotiating, like, a little forethought here. And again, you're not going to get these guys all hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but you could have started to set things in motion or started to lay groundwork and address the issue and be like, look, you got guys with CMML and your guys are tight with them. We're tight with AAA. I use a lot of AAA guys, like, and also reach out to CMML and test the waters. Be like, is there anything I could offer you, or is there guarantees I can make that if your talent is on? Because again, it's a neutral ground in that it's America, but just the fact that, and again, who knows? Me, CMML would have been like, nope, fuck you, and so be it. But the fact that guys had to be pulled and or last minute arrangements had to be made, because that tells me you guys just hope for the fucking best, which again, it's like, well then, asshole, I pay you too much to fucking I pay you too much to go, oh, what happened? Like, I'll fire a motherfucker. I'll pay somebody a mountain of money if they're valuable to me and doing a kick-ass job. The second you fuck up on a really just, are you kidding me level, you're gone, because you just showed me why the fuck are you, like, why the fuck am I paying you this money? I could probably pay like 4 people just divide up your salary and have extra hands on deck. Like, you're gone. I mean, it just boggles the mind. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of I need to check out Progress more and maybe see about what I can find with Impact, because these companies, like I said, and now this whole the legal stuff going on with Vince, like this is going to be a real it's going to be a real bad summer. And again, it's not the talent's fault, it's the lack of creative.
Yeah, because I mean the independence is about to run to something. Because I'm gonna try to make it out. I want to go to this one show that's gonna actually come to Durham and be downtown. I might fuck around and try to go. DPW, Deadlock Pro Wrestling. If I do, I would definitely review it here on one of these shows for sure. because like I said, I mean, because from watching, I'm definitely hoping that I've been watching it a little bit online, watching it on YouTube. I'm impressed with this shit and stuff. But back to the mainstream shit, though. I did not know. Thank you for giving me the news about them streaming TNT. And I said, told you, HBO Max, there you go with Ring of Honor. Because interesting that if people was paying attention this past Friday, the seeds of now the next title feud for Mr. Grissom is now about to come to fruition, which is probably about to be Cage. So, and like you said, now that TNT is about to be streamed on HBO Max, yeah, I smell that they're going to be on HBO Max.
Yeah.
HBO Max. It will be a show.
For the audience at home, I was kind of just doing some late night surfing, even though it's a first world problem indeed. Like, I have all these different apps on my Roku TV, and it's just like literally water everywhere, not a drop to drink. And I'm looking through HBO Max trying to find something to watch. and I noticed there's a new thing, and it said TNT, and it's very interesting because at least I've never noticed TNT stream anything on HBO Max. I know they're connected to Hulu, and I know HBO Max has been buying up like sitcoms and all kinds of content. Like they've definitely been doing the prop. I mean, they've been doing a really good job at the content grab. And I was like, huh, that is interesting because, with Tony Khan works with TNT, and then, HBO and TNT seem to have a deal. And it's like, I could be just kind of making up stuff, but I was like, I guess there is something to it. And it would be something HBO has never used, as far as I know, or if they have, they haven't done it since they really been, in business. But you, you could do a really interesting show, a wrestling show. I would make it a minimum of 2 hours to 90 minutes, and you can kind of push the limit a little bit. You don't have to be PG. I wouldn't go full R because that would be hard to maintain, but you definitely have the ability to some of your bigger feuds and some of your more important feuds to kind of push that into the R rating, or start a card off, starts off G, goes all the way up to R. And I think it could be really interesting, but the thing that still concerns me is don't use Ring of Honor as your AEW dumping ground. And Tony, I'm sorry, I've liked a lot of things he's done. I love the fact that he saved Ring of Honor for the WWE. I like a lot of stuff that he's done, but dude, you are taking on too much, and you have attention issues, and you are not a good writer. Your creativity has a lot of holes, and you're just too openly, admittedly lazy. And what's going on with this pay-per-view and what's going on with your TV shows right now is proof of that. You need to hire a booker. Delirious, Steve Regal. I mean, there's got to be wrestlers out there with the knowledge that could be, because there's no way you're barely doing 2 shows now. So you mean to tell me you're going to do, and I guarantee you, HBO Max is going to want a show.
Now, here's the kicker, because I was thinking about that when you told me this. Let me tell you how it's actually easy for him to pull this shit off. And let me explain. All right? Just follow me for a minute. He has daily plays. All right? We seen AEW run, get ratings, do their pay-per-views from daily plays. All right? Now, if he's saying that it's going to be somewhat of his developmental brand, which I keep saying this, as much as he says that, Ring of Honor is too big that he can't. It's not going to be an NXT, because the players he's going to have within Ring of Honor is nowhere else in NXT. You can't. You got Grissom. I'm pretty sure that he'll have the Briscoes. Now he can go grab them. So I'm pretty sure the Briscoes will come back to play with Ring of Honor or what have you. And that means we get our FTR, rivalry or what have you. But anyway, I digress. He don't have Ring of Honor to tour. He don't need him to tour. He don't. He can actually. No, he don't even have to tour. Actually, I suggest he don't do that. Because at the end of the day, what you can do is like use the show to a certain extent to have some of your bigger feuds of Ring of Honor might be highlighted, but he don't need to take them on a tour. You get what I'm coming from? The same way NXT, they pretty much keep them for their TV tapings or what have you. They do little small tours here and there. He ain't even got, he can do the straight up Impact. Forget NXT, he do the straight Impact. Impact does not do a fucking tour. Granted, they own the TV station, but still, they don't do a tour. He don't have to do a tour with Ring of Honor. He can just tape it. You feel where I'm coming from?
Yeah, so but I think wrestling loses something when you don't, and also you leave a lot of revenue on the table when you don't do house shows, and also like we just.
He can build. He can build to that. You get what I'm coming from?
Yeah, you build to it, but also While you were explaining, I also thought of something. Uh, Again, if I was HBO Max, I'm like, look, I see your AEW show. It's fine. I want more of an old school adult wrestling show. I don't want a lot of haha. I don't want stupid gimmicks. I want a wrestling show. I want it to make sense. Like this is like HBO has a definite feel. They're not going to be they're going to tell Tony like, look, we're giving you money for this. This is what we want. But also you can do a lot. You have this huge library, which I'm sure HBO will. It makes sense to have a live show and then have access to the library. And I would, don't do the WWE thing. Just, like you release it slowly, but give people access to it. Do interesting stuff with it. So
because I even think about with TNT when TNA first came out, they were a weekly pay-per-view.
Yes, but
you know what I'm saying.
But
they have a weekly show.
It's a thing of like you're gonna need people. You can oversee. You can have like a big weekly meeting but you need somebody to book the show and handle the talent. And again, there's a lot. If I was HBO, there's a lot you could do with that library. There's a lot of really interesting stuff. It's a whole brand plus again marketing and clothes and T-shirts and this, that, and the other thing. You need somebody to run the day-to-day of this huge brand that can only expand. You can't do fucking everything, especially if you're going to be the creative guy. Like I need to learn. I've been working on it. Like by the time I get to Miami in July, my platforms are finally going to be up and running. They're almost there. I've been working on organizing all my shit. I've been editing and so on and so forth. But my thing is creative and performing, and that's always going to be heavy and on my mind the most. I think over time I will obviously get better at the computer stuff and editing and the camera. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie. If Exotica goes better than I expected, and I really start running, and I really start to see money coming in, I'm not gonna lie. I'm all about delegation. Like I'll hire an editor, I will hire a regular camera person, and so on. Because when you're doing the creative and you're doing the marketing and you're like in that area, that eats up a lot of fucking time. You can't be a booker and do all this other shit and then and then run everything else. You need to hire people that know what the fuck to do and marketing people, and also wrestling is a very specific thing. You need to hire people that either, oh, I'm a wrestling fan, or I know of wrestling, or at the very minimum, I respect wrestling. Business people, office people don't give a fuck. They'll take a job and just be like, wrestling, it'll look good on my resume that I work for Tony Khan, and then they don't give a fuck. You need to have people working on it that actually give a fuck about wrestling, because wrestling, like porn, like comedy, if you don't know about it, or and you don't know how it works, and especially if you don't give a fuck, it ain't you ain't gonna succeed at it. I don't give a rat's ass what you did, where you went to college, or what you did before you got here. You are going to fail, and you are going to fail very, very badly. I would make Ring of Honor look beyond different from AEW. Two-man booth, keep it serious and real and
well,
gritty.
I'm pretty sure that he's going to keep it to, because the way he was playing it, he's going to keep it to what Ring of Honor originally was in the first place. The way it was, period. Because he still got Coleman, because Coleman comes in and do commentary for what I see when they have Ring of Honor matches, especially on Dark, and Richard Bonnie. I hope I said his name right. Riccaboni. They be having him there. So that's why I'm saying the only thing I'm not seeing. The only thing is kind of like, and then you also got Honor No More. They over there in the Impact. So it's kind of like everybody's waiting till they know what's going to happen with Ring of Honor. And I'm pretty sure that once that happens, guess what? We there. You feel me? Because I truly believe that he's not going to change what some would work. He's just going to enhance it a little bit, but not change the actual bone structure of that promotion. If he's gonna fuck it up.
Well, it's just that he has a tendency for big ideas, but the problem is with big ideas, they take more forethought, they take more effort, and we've seen it in the booking? Have you seen in the presentation of the show? Big ideas, and then just kind of like, there's a lot of stuff I want to do as far as scenes that I want to shoot, but they would take way more effort and way more money than I have right now to do them properly. So I'm not going to do them until I can do them properly. But the bigger ideas you get and the more you take on creatively, you have to, you have to like put more effort in, and you can't get lazy. Like writing is really fucking difficult, especially when you don't feel like writing or when you're in between. And there's where the real talent lies in writing, is in when you're going through 10, 15 pages of like getting to the next big plot point in the book or whatever. Like you need to keep those people engaged and moving along, and to get to the next big juicy chunk. It's hard. I'm not sitting here saying Tony can't do it. I'm saying he gets distracted, he takes on too much, and clearly very lazy, and just go, oh yeah, no rematches, or he hasn't been on TV in like forever, but now he's going to beat up the guy. Now he's automatically a world title contender, and then we're going to do a Texas, not Texas death match, or here's this guy that literally I don't have medical proof, but I could probably get it, that his last ball hair from puberty finally popped out, and he basically hasn't really won shit. Number 2 contender for our world champion, so he's gonna go out there, and it's like, wait a minute, what? How is he the number 2 contender? He just kind of whatever he goes.
Yeah, he just goes out there.
And he clearly, I think, is around his circle. I think because I've seen him lose his shit in public when he's criticized. I think probably ever growing. The people that work for him or are close to him either are still learning how to work him and can kind of control him and move him to the right direction, or they're just afraid to say something, because I have never seen a guy act more persecuted every time he's challenged on something's not going well or something's not a success or whatever. He's like, he goes on this fucking diatribe that a stenographer couldn't keep up with, and he just, but I'm like, dude, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I give me all the money in the world, I'll build you a porn company, but some of the shit I'm gonna make unintentionally is gonna fucking suck, or it's not gonna be good, or like an idea, oh, this is a great idea, and then no, it wasn't, but so we have to put it out to try to recoup losses. Yay.
But Bill,
yeah,
I had to actually cut this short because my shit about to die on me. So I got to charge it real quick for the next show. So with that being said, we're gonna continue this probably a little bit more on Pilgrim on Wrestling, which will be dropping this Wednesday, because we're gonna be recording this Monday. And like I said, and what else I was thinking, and yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. So with that being said, thank you for coming to listen to this Pro Wrestling Smoke. And we definitely going to talk about the Forbidden Door. I don't think we're going to see it. We're just going to discuss the results. That's all we're going to do. And discuss the happenings of the bullshit and everything. And that's pretty much it. So with that being said, like we always end it all day, every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? You can't learn anything. Smoke is over. Billy, sign out.
We'll see you again soon. I'm going to apologize. I thought I had a new sign off, and we've kind of been through a lot in the past week, and we had to take a little bit of a break, and I actually forgot it. And I don't have access to even I don't have access to the fucking premium show, so I couldn't go back and listen. So see you guys later.
Okay then. Peace.